Feel free to start in any way you wish. So if you are using oils today, go ahead and use them. I'm going to start with In Tune Focus Blend, which is basically just as it sounds. It calms and relaxes the mind, helping you feeling focused in a really harmonious state. It smells so nice. I usually use this one as perfume. So whatever you're using today, take a moment to slowly inhale and exhale. Allowing the mind to come to the space, to come on to the mat. Releasing what's already happened in your day so far, and releasing any expectations of what's to come. Really focus on self-care today, which is such an important daily practice. And sometimes a simple self-care technique could be as simple as just simplifying your schedule. Often we try to take on so much these days. Sometimes it's nice to just say, I'm just going to back off a little bit today. So go ahead now, take a moment and set your intention for the practice. Remembering as we go through our Yin Yoga practice today that we are finding stillness in each one of our postures as much as possible. Teaching the body to rest in that space just before the edge. Meaning getting into a stretch, but not pushing too far into the stretch. Big inhale in, draw that spine nice and tall, and a nice exhale out the mouth. Completely relax everything, even releasing the hands down if you haven't already. Take another big inhale, another exhale through the mouth. Let's do that one last time. Inhale and exhale. Allowing everything that's no longer serving you to just flow away from the body, through the sit bones, into the earth. Now keeping the eyes closed, let's move into our first posture of butterfly. So bottom of the feet together, knees off to the side. You can choose to put a bolster under the knees if you wish, or even under your head to support. In Yin Yoga, typically we have the heels a little further away from the hips as opposed to really close. So you choose to adjust in any way that feels good for you. Today's practice, we're going to take a little journey through the 5 elements. The practice of Yin Yoga is very much designed to target the meridians, which are just lines of energy similar to the chakras, and organs in the body, which often operate in a similar way to the elements of nature, which are fire, water, wood, metal, and earth. So I want you now just to focus in on your body and its organs and just thank them for working so hard in what they do. I heard it said once that you are like the God to your cells. They don't get spoken to very often, so when you do, they listen. So of course, speaking to your body, cells, tissues, organs in a very positive manner will have a very positive and healing effect on the body. So if you're not feeling well, thank the immune system for being strong and taking care of you. If you're feeling any pain, thank your body for letting you know something is in imbalance, and to really ask your body, what does it need to release the pain? Our body will speak to us if we listen. Think about the organs like a pancreas or a liver or heart that just work without us even thinking. Such thankless jobs. So this is such a wonderful opportunity right now to thank your body for everything it does for you every day to keep you functioning. Next breath, slowly begin to rise. If you've got your bolster close by, let's bring it so that it can go underneath the spine. But before we move into that, bring the knees up and just do a gentle windshield washer movement, just to loosen those hips up a little bit. And then from here, let's take the bolster right underneath so it's underneath the spine. We're going to go into fish pose. Start by opening into the spine, starting with some back bends. So we're going to slowly start to lie down on the bolster, allowing the chest to open, allowing that natural curvature in the low back begin to feel supported. Allowing everything to just rest and release. We're going to start our practice with the element of water, which is actually also connected to the sacral chakra. And in the meridian lines, the kidney and urinary bladder meridian. So feel your breath as you inhale and exhale, almost like the waves of the ocean, flowing in and flowing out. Offering healing support and gratitude to the kidneys and the urinary bladder, two, of course, essential organs. These organs very much deal with the water element, the fluids in our body, clearing our body of toxins, of waste, anything the body no longer needs. As you send these organs your thoughts, visualize them doing their job, but also at the same time, visualize them healing in any way that may need to heal. just a little more time in this position. And really notice how comforting and relaxing this pose is. And at the same time, it's really shifting the physical body, supporting the low back, opening into the vertebrae, giving each of your discs in your spine some space. Relaxing for the mind. In a very open position, keeping you open to thoughts and feelings. Listening to everything that might come up from the body. It's interesting, if you're in this relaxed space and you ask your body a question, for example, let's ask the kidneys and the urinary bladder, what do I need to know? And just notice what comes up. First thought, the picture, the first word, the first phrase. It's usually a message. Breath, gently bend into the knees, placing your feet flat on the floor, feeling free to roll off to the side into fetal position if you want to, but let's come up into a seated position without doing too much forward folding. And we're going to shift right into Sphinx pose. So you can use your bolster if you want it under the rib cage for a bit of support, and allowing your elbows to go underneath the shoulders, staying in that back bend. So noticing now we are going into a back bend, which is exactly what fish pose was, but just a little bit differently, more of an active back bend. So we're going to stay focused on the elemental system of water, which also controls the reproductive organs, lower back health, as mentioned, urinary system, blood purification, and energetic vitality. Now, all these systems are connected to both the root, Muladhara, and the sacral chakras. So the first two chakras. So breathe into each one of these organs, these systems, and call back your energy. Now, the root chakra is a wonderful energy center to really ground yourself into the earth and allow anything that's no longer serving you to just flow down and away from you. And at the same time, you could call back some of the energetic pieces that have kind of gone to other places, maybe to people, to work, to just focusing on other things, just call back that energy. As we breathe into that element of water, really purifying the body, building up that energy. Now, the emotions associated with the water system are fear and wisdom. Notice two different ends of the spectrum. Focus on the water element to release fear and move closer to the feeling of wisdom. Remember, fear is usually when we don't understand what's going on, when there's confusion. But when we're solid in our beliefs, there is no fear. On the next breath, take the hands underneath the shoulders and let's push back into child's pose for a few breaths. Just allowing your low back to have a little relief. Your hands can be extended, or you can take them right underneath the forehead, which I like to do sometimes for a more relaxed child's pose. Taking a few nice deep breaths here. Of course, if you've used oils, you might be even to smell them again here. Remember the sense of smells connected to that root chakra, helping that grounding energy increase. Just allowing a few nice deep breaths here. Opening into those hips a little bit. And just giving one final thanks to the root and sacral chakra, the element of water, and all the organs associated with that area. And on the next breath, slowly begin to rise up and come into a seated position. So moving now into shoelace pose. So we're going to extend into that left leg and take your right leg, your right knee, bend into that leg and stack the knees on top of each other. Now you can do half shoelace, which is like this, extending into that bottom leg, or you can also bend into that bottom leg, stacking the knees one on top of each other. So take a moment to kind of just breathe and wiggle into this position, whatever feels the best on those hips. And then once you've found that nice position you can settle into, you feel a stretch, but you don't feel like you're pushing too much, find stillness. Now we're going to move on to the elemental system of wood. I want you to really visualize the element of wood. Very earthy. Now, the two organs that are really associated with the wood elemental system are the liver and gallbladder. So breathe into these organs now and send them healing energy. The liver and gallbladder are very, very associated with, obviously, our daily life, dealing with food, nutrition, waste as well. Another organ system that has a very thankless job. Anytime we eat something, inhale something, drink something that's toxic to our body, which we're human, we do probably every day, our liver has to filter it out. So any toxic energy, toxic substances our liver gets rid of. So breathe into that area, right on the right side under the rib cage. Visualize the liver being healthy. Visualize it clearing their body of toxins and yet still being okay. Sending the liver and gallbladder gratitude for what it does every day without you having to think about it. Your eyes closed or open if you'd wish, but if you've bent into that bottom leg, let's extend that bottom leg, extending the top leg for a moment, just shaking them out. And then let's switch to the other side. So start by that right leg being extended, left leg going over top, and then also bending into that right leg if you feel that's where you want to go. If not, keep that bottom leg straight. Once you've found that moment of stillness, breathe back into the liver and gallbladder, the element of wood. Now, this elemental system of wood controls the flow of chi or energy, inner disposition, and as we already spoke about, detoxification. Very much connected to the solar plexus chakra, which is not surprising considering the liver and the gallbladder are right underneath the rib cage in the same area as the solar plexus chakra. Remembering our solar plexus is our source of personal power, where we get our confidence. Of course, it's always important that our chi or energy is flowing freely through our body. Sometimes I like to visualize a beautiful kind of ball of light that just starts by swirling around the root chakra, going around and around and around the body. And then it slowly rises to the sacral chakra. Seeing the energy flow in a circle around the body, rising up to the mid part of the body, up to the chest, the neck, all around the head, the arms and the legs. Let's see if you can tap into that flow of energy as it swirls around your body. Of course, at the same time, sending that energy to the liver and gallbladder. That light, healing energy. Release the legs, extend them all the way out, shaking them out if you wish, maybe even a windshield wiper movement, whatever feels better for you. And And then when you're ready, let's come onto the hands and knees. We're going to come into sweeping swan or pigeon pose. So taking that right knee, bring it nice and close to that right ankle, or sorry, the right wrist. You're going to slowly start to push your left leg back, pushing your left hip towards the floor. Now you can also do this one lying on your back in a figure 4 position. So starting by being nice and tall, just to get that nice position, making sure that the hips are square towards the ground. And then slowly start to drop to the elbows, or even drop your head to the ground, whatever feels better for you. Making sure that you're not rushing into the pose. Sometimes this one takes a little longer to settle into, depending on how tight those hips are. The emotions associated with wood element are anger and compassion. Again, two opposite ends of the spectrum. Really focusing on the element of wood to release anger and move closer to compassion. So we can also use that visualization of grounding, feeling all feelings of anger and frustration released to the ground, released to Mother Earth. At the same time, drawing in the energy of compassion. Slowly begin to rise up, coming onto the hands and knees again. We're just simply going to switch to the other side. So left knee slowly comes forward. Again, just recognizing and noticing how that feels. Setting yourself up the same way on this side. Allowing yourself to go slow. Have compassion for where your body is right now. And just continue to breathe into the hips. Solar plexus chakra, the liver and gallbladder, and the energy that runs all the way to the top of the head, to the tips of the toes in this meridian line. breaths here in this pose. Take a moment for a last breath of gratitude, sending that to the liver and the gallbladder. Again, thanking them for the jobs they do each day. Slowly begin to rise up, coming onto the hands and knees. Let's come now into wide leg child's pose. So you're going to push your hips back. Now I'll give you an option here. So if it feels better to stay up here into hands and knees, you can as we go into a rotation, or you can sit back and come into a rotation. So left hand will go underneath the right shoulder, dropping the head and shoulder to the ground, either keeping your hips high, which you could do here, and dropping down. Sometimes that feels nicer on the knees. So you choose, try both, maybe see which one feels better for you. Either one is great. We're looking to focus now on the element of earth, getting into the spleen and the stomach. So take a moment now to breathe into those areas. These organs are also connected to the solar plexus chakra as they're in that same area, right below the rib cage. With your breath, sending your energy there. Focus on healing those areas and thanking those organs for what they do each day. Remembering to keep the breath nice and long, slow and controlled, in through the nose, out through the nose. Of course, if you need to breathe through the mouth, that's okay as well. Focus this breath. Using that breath as your healer, moving that life force energy throughout you. Breath, slowly begin to rise up to hands and knees. Before we go to that other side rotation, we're going to step forward with the left leg, dropping the hips towards the earth, coming into dragon pose. Now we can take those elbows to the knee if you wish, or keep the hands on the floor, whatever you feel like you need to do. So this element of earth is related to the system of digestion and distribution. So often if there's a lot of digestive issues in the body, it often means there's something going on with a disruption in the solar plexus chakra. There's a blockage of the passage of energy through that area. So again, focusing on gratitude in this area. will help open up that energy center, that energy line. On the next breath, gently release down back into hands and knees. And let's go back into that twist. So again, you can choose to go into child's pose if you wish, or you can keep your hips up nice and high, taking that right hand underneath the left, dropping the shoulder to the ground, and dropping the head to the ground. Finding that nice position of release, feeling a little twist kind of in that lower rib cage area. Now, the emotions associated with the earth element are anxiety and equanimity. It's basically opposite ends of the spectrum. Either we feel like we are in balance or out of balance, which causes anxiety. In this position, let's focus on releasing any tension and anxiety and bringing back the feelings of balance. Here, you might even feel the safety of the mat. Just almost using it as a symbol to remind you that anytime you come to this space, you will feel that sense of balance. Everything is okay when you're here. Taking the last couple of breaths in this position. Ready, slowly begin to rise, stepping forward with that right leg now, maybe taking the elbows up to the knee, pushing the hips forward, coming into dragon on this side. So your depth of dragon is going to depend from day to day. Some days you're going to feel like going a little bit deeper, some days you're not. So just really focus in on what you're feeling now. No judgment, just an opportunity to relax and release. On the next breath, release, coming back down to hands and knees. Now from here, a little back bend again. You can use your bolster. We're going to set the bolster up so it's parallel to the short edge of the mat. And from here, lying down so that the thoracic spine is just on the bolster. So the elbows are along the other side, the opposite side of the bolster. So here, arms by your side, legs can stay bent or extend to the ground. We're going to move on to the elemental system now of metal, correlating to the lungs and the large intestine. Large intestine is usually running, of course, there's the ascending colon, which is on the right side, coming up by the right side, transverse colon right underneath the rib cage, and then the descending colon on the left side. So breathe into the lungs, expanding the lungs, which is easy in this position. This elemental system is very much connected to respiration, obviously, with the lungs, elimination with the large intestine, and also the throat chakra. As you breathe into the lungs, thank them for the job they do each day. Visualize that light, healing energy of the breath flowing all the way down to the tiniest cell in the lungs, where the exchange of oxygen and CO2 occurs. Maybe take your attention to the large intestine and just thanking it for eliminating the things that your body no longer needs. One last big inhale here. Staying focused on these two organs as we shift position. So taking your hands underneath your head, slowly beginning to rise up, bending into the legs, coming into a seated position, either rolling off to the side or coming right up. You're just going to extend the legs straight out, sitting up nice and tall, and allow yourself to go right into a forward fold. Keep in mind, we were just in a back bend, so the back of the body is going to feel a little tight, so go easy, but allowing yourself to surrender as much as you can here. Still continuing to stay close to the breath. But this forward fold now is a little bit more connected to that large intestine, helping the body eliminate waste. The emotions associated with the middle element are sorrow and courage. So really breathe into the organs and help the energy of courage expand as you release sorrow. next breath, slowly begin to rise. And we'll gently make your way onto the back. As you get there, hugging the knees in towards the chest, gently rocking side to side. And when you're ready, take the arms out to the side and gently drop the knees to the right, shifting the hips in any way that you need to. Making sure that the spine feels okay, using the bolster for support if that's what you need. Finding some stillness when you're here. And focusing on the element of fire. The element fire is related to the heart and small intestines. Breathe into these organs now. These organs both control circulation and assimilation, and connected to the heart chakra. Allowing those nice inhales and exhales. Bringing everything back to center in your own time, just really nice and slow, maybe drawing those knees back up towards the chest, realigning the spine. When you're ready, let's drop to the other side. So legs to the left, arms out to the side. Continuing to keep your focus on the heart and the small intestine. These organs and this energy system is related to the emotions of hate and love. Love being the most powerful emotion and energetic vibration ever. We do not get rid of hate with hate. We get rid of hate with love. So expand this love to include the organs in the body, focusing that powerful healing vibration of love to every single organ in the body, to the tissues, to the cells, expanding that love for your total self. Expanding the love out to your friends, your family, pets, your community, and and the earth as a whole. To all animals, all plants, everything contained on the planet. It's been shown and it's been said that the more love we have, the more we can actually shift the planet. Back up to the center. Slowly hug the knees in towards the chest, gently rocking side to side. And on the next breath, extend the legs down to the floor. Coming into Shavasana, shifting the shoulder blades underneath the back. Palms are open by your side. Allowing a breath in and a nice big sigh out as you settle onto your mat for our final, most healing pose. Breathing into each one of your organs, all the energy lines, the chakras. Thank your entire body for everything it does to support you each day. Taking a few moments of stillness and silence to rest in that healing energy and gratitude. Breath. Slowly start to wiggle the fingers and the toes, moving the body in any way you feel good, awakening that physical body. Eventually making your way into fetal position, just resting in that comfortable space. Slowly come up to a comfortable seated position. Bringing the hands to heart center if you wish, maybe using an oil. So I'm going to use Cheer blend. Cheer is a citrus blend. Promotes feelings of optimism, cheerfulness, and happiness. great blend to use in a diffuser or on your body. So whatever you're using, even if you're not using an oil, taking the hands to the heart center or drawing the scent of the oil. As you move forward into your week, into your day, remember to focus on self-care, grounding, staying focused on gratitude for your body, simplifying your schedule, anything that helps you bring better focus on things that bring you joy and happiness. Wishing you much love, light, and many blessings. Namaste.